Thanks for that info. There's a very interesting question. I'm not sure if it's completely in your domain of interest, the studies. I don't know if you can see the question. Uh,
Yeah.
this person is asking about the experience with so-called water witchers. I don't know if you have anything
Yeah,
to
I know
say
what
to
he's
this.
talking about,
Oh,
he or
cool.
she. Yeah, so this is called dowsing, also known as radiesthesia or water witching. When you talk about water witching, you immediately think witch or occult. So I don't like using that word. Dowsing is just it's like a different form of clairvoyance or ESP, where basically you find out where water is. And what's interesting about dowsing is a lot of saints were really good at it. Like I have this book here. I just put it here by chance. It's called Wounded by Love. It's the life and wisdom of Saint Porphyrios or Elder Porphyrios. He was an Orthodox saint of the 20th century, and he had all kinds of miracles happen around his life. But whenever people in the town next to him needed to drill for a well, they're like, "Hey, let's get Elder Porphyrios to tell us where the water is," because he just supernaturally knew where the water was, and he was right almost every time. I have a friend from church. He said his grandfather had this natural ability to know where water was, and he would take his dowsing sticks, walk around, and then they would just wait. Basically, dowsing is traditionally you have an object called a dowsing rod. It can be like a wishbone shaped stick, or it can be metal rod. And when you get over the water, it's supposed to, wiggle or whatever to show you there's water there. And he says his grandfather was, I think he was a believer, and he also had this ability, and everyone in town would go to him to find out where the water was. So I can't prove if this is demonic or if it's a natural ability. It seems to me that it could just be something that falls under ESP that people have. It does get a little squirrely though, because in traditional societies, it's the sort of the shaman that has all these abilities, and he becomes sort of a religious figure. So it can definitely take on a pagan kind of route. But dowsing has been done. I don't know how comfortable you are with the Catholics and stuff, but the Vatican has actually used dowsers to help find stuff before. And there's priests that were allowed to do dowsing for scientific purposes. But recently, or the last ruling of the Catholic Church is you're not allowed to do dowsing for regular people, but you can do it for scientific experiments. So I don't have the final word on dowsing, but generally speaking, it's just a form of ESP, which means maybe it's a natural ability, a natural tendency, or yeah, maybe it could be empowered by an evil spirit, especially if you are sort of a shamanistic figure and you're known for being possessed by spirits. Well, obviously, yeah, I would be wary of that. But maybe there is a natural ability to it. I'm certainly open to the idea.